I'm really passionate about helping youth think critically. I've worked with youth most of my working life. I think my first job was I was a playground leader for New Westminster Parks and Recreation. The way I engage youth in presentations is I think I'm animated. I think you can see I'm passionate about what I do, and the passion about what I do, I think, comes through, and to keep you engaged with stories, with examples that you will connect with.
I use a lot of different ways of teaching. So sometimes the kids are reading and gathering information. Sometimes I'm teaching specific skills. But then a lot of times I like to broaden that out and give them big projects to work on. And then that way they can incorporate the things that they've learned into the project that they've created. So right now we're learning about Egypt, and we went on a virtual field trip to a pyramid, and they went on a real field trip down to the Vancouver Museum. And then now we're incorporating all the things we've learned from that into creating a big expo in our classroom so that they can share what they've learned with the rest of the school and community and with their parents.
We're going to make an expo in March, and we're going to build the Sphinx.
The way to inspire youth to learn is by helping them see the potential in themselves. And the way we do that is by challenging the ways that we have been thinking previously or in the past, and examining our biases, our prejudices, and the reasons for being.
Youth are inspired to learn, I think, differently today than they were many years ago. I think that kids today are so much more aware of the world around them and the broader world. And there's so much technology out there that they learn in a lot of different ways today. So everything that they learn doesn't come just from a book. They're so aware of what's going on out in the web. They look at things on the computer. So they use technology to gather information, I think, in a very, very different way than when I was a child going to school.
At home, I have a computer and an iPad. Sometimes I will use my iPad, sometimes I'll use the computer. But here we have like a laptop lab and an iPad lab.
I think the way to connect with young people, what we try to do is we teach youth to reason. So I think the way to connect would probably be by giving youth truth. Instead of looking at the world around them and social manipulation, or what we hear from our parents, our teachers, our government, and giving youth a tool that they can make sense of their own world.
I think what makes a good teacher is like a teacher that interacts with you and helps you when you need help. Mrs. Price is a very good teacher because she's very fun. She always takes us into on field trips, as he said, and at the end of the year we do a big movie that's very fun.
My husband works as a cameraman, and when he and I met, I didn't have any experience using film in the classroom, but I was really inspired to try that, and I really enjoy editing myself. I like editing things at home on my computer. So I decided to make movies with my class, and that's become a yearly event. We make a big movie, and the kids are really excited about it. We show it to the whole school. We have a film festival. For me, it's like something that I love outside of teaching that I bring into the classroom, and it helps to make me really excited about teaching, but the kids just enjoy being a part of something like that. It's just really become a fantastic thing that the whole school gets to enjoy. A lot of the things that are wonderful about the world today, there's so much available, the technology. It also can get in the way of kids learning. There's so many distractions for them.
Example, let's talk about video games. So if we're a really pro video game, it would be very difficult to look at the other side of why video games may be harmful, or reverse, why video games may not be harmful. If we're anti-video games and I hear someone that's pro-video games, to think critically around it, the topic is usually very complicated. It's not just a black and white answer.
It's always really hard to strike a good balance between when is technology too much and when is it too involved in your life. And using video games are great, and all of those things are wonderful sometimes, but there needs to be limits on those things. And I think for some kids, if they're not motivated, they don't want to learn, they're not excited about being at school, which a lot of kids just aren't. there's so many other things that they can do. It's so easy to do that I think it's just really easy for them to just give up and just stay home and play, on their computer at home, or just, get away from the world and just sit on their computer and not interact with people.
Impulsivity, lack of focus, and the inability to think openly, not looking for the opportunity to be inspired by all the wonderful things that you have available to you, like the snow on the mountains this morning, exquisite scenery, something that, if you drive by and you're in a hurry or so caught and self-centered with your own thinking, that it's very difficult to think openly. And that is a lack of thought, that you can't lose that chance to see or be inspired by the amazing people that are in the world and the amazing opportunities that you have available to you, but you have to look for them.